Anyway, I had to go see my boys at my Indian buddy at Quick Trip. Need me a part-time gig, so I can work on my truck. I just like dealing with them anyway, cause they cool, bro. But anyway, Quick Trip and Levon, y'all give them more business. They cool people. But anyway, let's talk about this healing. And that's what I gotta do. I gotta sit here and heal this family after all that they did. And they supposed to be learning from that. They supposed to know that I know what you did, but I'm able to forgive and forget. I hate it because my pop got involved in it. I warned them. My pop somebody that get lured and stuff. Me and him ain't nothing but grease monkey. Somebody whoever plotted all this and did all this, they had the intellect. And they was deep in something dark and sinister, you know, in the family to do this and keep this going. Rather with my grandpa family, my dad's side of the family, or my mama's side of the family, or both sides. And whoever it was had too much time on their hand. And they just led the family into generational curses instead of generational wealth. So it's like, let's say the binding spells is real. Even with the binding spell, it still would have took somebody that knew somebody that had to go and do all this, you know what I'm saying, and then put me together with somebody in the family. Cause when you do those kind of spells, you gotta look, I can't do the details on here, but it's things you gotta look into. So you can't just bind yourself with anybody, not this type of way. So like I said, long story short, I wish he never, I told him, I said, whatever's finna happen, 6 years ago, I told him, 7 years ago or something like that, I said, don't sign off on none of this stuff. And with this part of my issues, it's got to do with the exes of mine. Rather with my ex-wife, ex-fiance, ex-female friend, if not all of them, whatever. But that's what I gotta do. I gotta heal the family. But healing illnesses and stuff, it really ain't that hard. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to keep standing up straight to continue to make sure in this perverse world, it's hard to continue to, unless you actually find a lover, it's hard to keep yourself from getting contaminated. Very hard, very hard. So that's the kicker. So like I said back when Jesus said, don't go back, how would you do that in such a perverse world when almost everybody contaminated? So God gotta be trying to tell us something. These illnesses, that's why I say physician doctors and holistic doctors need to start coming together, because these illnesses done got irate now. It ain't just with one nationality, it's with everybody. And it's done got irate now. And not only do we need to find a way to get rid of it, we need to find a way to alleviate it, slow it down altogether. And the way we do that is educating people about this sex realm. And I ain't gonna put that information out neither. There's too many thieves out here. It's like y'all thieves making more poison. Just done poison the seat, poison the hat, poison this. I get blamed for that still, bro. I mean, like, get out my face. You know, this is what the energy be saying. You need to just get out my face already, because you see everybody buying it, and you can't help nobody. And I don't know what you're talking about. like my energy that I can hear for myself, whoever binded myself to me this last time, this will be a young person, is totally warped. And I don't have a clue on what they talking about. I just be like, get out my face. Go on somewhere with all that. That's another curse of that organ thing. It's another curse, bro. But so what we're gonna have to do is figure out how to heal. It's like if we can heal properly, then the energy will no longer be warped, or at least try to straighten itself out, and then we'll know what's going on. Cause like in my case, I really can't add myself to the equation of that. My personal mission from God is that hat. So I got to deal with some of this stuff off and on, and it's just overwhelming. And I can't talk to nobody about it. It ain't nobody I can call about it, even if I had everybody around me to talk about it. But I can help y'all heal. That's easy. You know, in my case with this hat, you got cousins on the hat, people in the hat, people ain't earned the hat, people ain't got the gift to control the hat. People, because you gotta get the hat to get in some seat. They done poisoned the hat, done poisoned the seat. I think one time I had a hat, guy got rid of it. Said the hat was paused, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know though. Let me I don't want to talk about father like that. I don't want to add him to nothing because he'll get you. But it's something like that though, and this happened like months ago, bro. It's like the wrong person got a guy with man. You don't contaminate nothing of guys. Just put it that way. You don't contaminate nothing of guys. And it's like we all had to go around this whole. He made the whole world do it. Guy got this thing where he make his kids do a lap around the earth. And it's like he made the whole world do a lap, bro. It's like he made the whole world do a lap around the earth. For playing like that. Including me. So, that's that, man. And it's like, I don't even know what I was supposed to be doing. They chasing beats and all that. And IVs and all that. I feel like it's unfair. Because I shouldn't have to, not saying I won't do what God told me to do. I ain't saying God told me to do it. That's the problem. I can't tell what God's saying because the energy's so warped. But I feel it's unfair for me to chase for something that was given to me anyway from the beginning. And it's like all these family members and stuff got involved in it. And they sitting there looking. We need you to move so we can move. You shouldn't have got in the way in the first place. You should have been real and said, I ain't doing it. I heard of somebody else going through something like this. Let's say it's an experiment going on, and let's say it's 5 chosen ones, and the government, everybody knew about it, and they put them through these tests. And they gotta ask your community and everything. I heard one of the dudes was just like me. The community really didn't deal with him or nothing, but they didn't bother him neither. And the people came around and asked him to do this old crazy stuff right here, what I'm going through, and they said no. And I heard they all got cut. I heard they got their check. I heard they living good, bro. I don't know what I kind of somewhat do and I don't. You know, if that's even real. But that's what I heard though. They said everybody got paid. They didn't have to go through none of this torture. Because if you gotta watch me be tortured, if you gotta watch me to make sure that and torture me secretly, then your life is miserable too. You know what I'm saying? Your life is miserable too. If you gotta sit there and watch everything I do. You and your family, man, you crazy, bro. Ain't nobody finna sign up for nothing like that. Man, that's miserable. That's miserable. And you know, my grandpa used to warn me of people like that. My grandpa used to ride me around. He used to say, I can't tell you in his words, but he'll say, don't deal with this people, don't deal with them, don't deal with them, don't deal with them. Some of these people family. He was like, don't deal with none of them because they're like owls, human owls, bro. They just sit there. Their job is just sit there and hoop. That's it. Just sit there and watch you. That's it. That's all they do, bro. And it's just overbearing. It's overbearing, bro. I hope they boy give me a gig. I need me a part-time gig so I can put some work in somewhere else. But this ain't gonna work. It's like they call it now at the moment the Astro calling it an error life. Like it's like, man, I'm telling you, in this situation, I watch people who claim they love God and claim they know God and all this and that, or maybe high vibrational people, 33 degrees or whatever, all this and that, and sat there and put a straight up bomb in the seat. I thought y'all had all this going for yourself. But that's like, before you can even elevate to any of that stuff right there, you're supposed to know better to put something like that in a seat. You know, that kind of seat of power. And it's like it's like this seat, people got to do whatever somebody sit in this seat, Well, you need to understand the person that's sitting, that you gotta sit in the seat. Okay? If you put me in a situation where you constantly attacking me and I gotta stay in my higher self, well, I might not be something that's that influential when it comes to sitting in that seat, because I gotta stay in my higher self. You're not understanding that though. It's like this whole thing is just trash, straight up garbage. But we can work on healing though while we waiting till God sort everything out. We can work on healing. And I'm telling y'all, the proper way to heal is gonna be the abstract. If you don't want to abstract from these people, it's many ways to abstract. If you don't want to leave these people because you love these people, you must understand your healing. Your healing, it's like your healing, the problem that you gotta heal. What are you doing anything with these people that's pertaining, that's keeping you sick? It can get bad now. It could get from sharing a blunt with somebody. Cause you gotta heal completely. You gotta get away from everybody. Even with that Dr. Saber diet, this ain't no paranoia. This is real now. You gotta get away. It's like, if you're gonna continue to be around these people, you gotta heal for real. You gotta, and it's gonna be hard. But the good thing is this: if you start healing while you're around these people, you gonna, like I said, what I said earlier, you're gonna realize if they there for you or not. And then that's gonna motivate you even more to continue to heal yourself. You're gonna separate yourself automatically. The beautiful thing about healing is that you find your own self. You find your higher self. You find your true self. That's the beautiful thing about healing. You know what I'm saying? You find your own self. You get strong yourself. You know what I'm saying? And it don't get no better than that. It don't get no better than that. And you're going to automatically separate yourself. And when these people start healing to the people out there, and y'all know these people healing, don't give them no hard time. Congratulate them. Congratulate them. Thank God to see somebody moving on and unplugging themselves out the matrix system. Don't give them no hard time. You utilize that as motivation for yourself. You might envy them a little bit, but don't. You shouldn't do that. But don't give them a hard time for healing. That's like my boy. Back in my day, when I started healing, they would tell me I envy you, but they didn't disrespect me though, and they stayed friends to me, while I was healing. But I knew that whatever was in the inside of them didn't like it, and I knew eventually I was going to separate myself altogether. So if you got to separate yourself, like I said, with the blunt situation, you already know how it's going to be with sex. You already know how it's going to be with sex. I screwed my hair up, y'all. I cut patches off in my hair. I ain't never been good with clippers, bro. That's one thing I am not good with. My brother, I had one of the best barbers in the world. My brother was outstanding. They used to call him a haircut. My brother was outstanding, man. My brother was so good. He could win one of the things where you go to them haircut things, you win like $20,000 for doing the best cut. He could do that easily. My brother was outstanding with that barber stuff. Outstanding. Matter of fact, I was finna sign him up for one of those. But he was getting attacked too. The whole group got attacked, and eventually it ended up with just me. It was a lot of us though. Like I said, it was a lot of us. It was Pecos, Siobhan, Nick, Tony, Low Key. They all probably got nicknames, but hell, they gone now though. But Low Key's still around. But we don't really deal with each other. Flip, Norman, richer. It was a lot of. It wasn't but like 7 of us. That's all we needed. That's all we needed. We roots. Together, man, we was off the chain, bro. We was off the chain. Now, one of us stayed in trouble too much, which was Tony, and we couldn't keep up with Tony. And I think eventually, over time, Tony felt like he was fighting by himself. Tony was just wild, man. Every time he turned around, Tony was fighting. It was like Tony was trying to take over. Take over the hoods, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what Tony had on his mind. Tony had a lot he was going through. And it was like me and Nick, KO, whatever, we would just walk into a situation with Tony just kicking up dirt, fighting all kind of people just by himself. Tony was a hell of a fighter, bro. He was a lot better than me and Nick. People don't know that. He was way better than that. Tony was hell, boy. I hated to fight with Tony because I already knew whoever he was fighting with was good, and it was a bunch of people. You gotta go fight with Tony. It ain't no 1-on-1, 2-on-1, 3-on-1. Tony got about 5, 6 people fighting him. They all can fight. You know what I'm saying? Tony just too much, bro. These kind of Tony go up fight these people with razors in their mouth. People that have razors in their mouth, you don't know it. They just slide them razors out, cut you up and stuff. That's how Tony was. He didn't do the razor. He fought with these people. This is awful. I don't know why I went there. I guess because I was thinking about this healing stuff. But anyway, so that's what we got first. You gotta learn. We gotta learn to do that first. We gotta learn to do that right there. Because if we don't figure this part out, we might as well heal. Because this little test, all this stuff that's going on, it's gonna keep going. I know why it's going because I can't talk about that neither. And it's gonna keep going back and forth to that whatever that is that them girls started is over with. So it's almost over though, but it still got a little bit. So till then, we can heal. We can heal. And then the other thing that's slowing all this down is all the people that interfere with this test. Because God wants something out of this test. I mean, not out of this test, but God trying to get something done in this situation. I'm going to tell y'all something. Not tell. I don't know, I've been wanting to say that, but I don't want to tell y'all this because you're not going to get it. And I'm scared it's going to break you. But I'm going to try to tell you in a way where you can't let it break you. I ain't going to tell y'all. I ain't going to say nothing about it. One day, I might tell you. But I can show y'all for a fact how God utilized, how bad and good is just two different extremes. I mean, you could just utilize me in my flame float. You know, she collect the dark, lower vibrational folks, and you could just use floats. I mean, this ain't no, if we talk like this, and we talking about floats, you can't go out there and say, he talking crazy, that's what floats are. Floats is sailboats, basically. And they floats, you know. Just imagine an ark that's floating in the spiritual, but it's here in the physical, and it's above us. And that's where y'all getting bonded to. That's what them chains going to. And it's going to a sail on the float. So you look at my flame, she in a more lower vibrational realm, and she cleaning up that area. And that's what it is. Now, can't go and right out crazy when the truth is there. This is just some elite truth, though. This elite conversation stuff. You know what I'm saying? This is elite kind of stuff, royalty stuff. That's why you never heard it before, but it's real. It's real. And that's why I say when you knock somebody off or you get somebody in prison, somebody else gonna replace them. Who replaced Diddy? Somebody did. You ain't talking about that person, is you? Because it's energy. Somebody did. You trying to heal the energy by locking up the enemy. I mean, locking up the person that's over the energy. That ain't the way it worked. That ain't the way it worked. It would have been a long process. 3 lifetimes. It would have been lifetimes of a process to heal that kind of energy. There ain't no overnight healing process right there. You gotta understand these healing. If you heal, then you gotta enjoy healing. You got to tap into healing. And I showed you the trick to it. When you start to heal, pay attention to your loved ones. Pay attention to the ones around you that you're trying to heal around, that you don't want to leave. And you're going to realize, okay, this is what's going on. Pay attention to your skin when you healing, like when you dealing with, especially when you're in a sexual relationship. Immediately, you can go have a sex partner and be with that partner one time. You can wait 24 hours to be with them again. In 24 hours, you're going to notice difference in your body immediately, instantly. I promise you. In 24 hours, you're going to notice. You're going to notice. Now, I can't tell you if it's good or bad, because sometimes it's rough at first. So let's say I share all with radio and my voice start messing up or whatever. And it shouldn't be messing up because her voice is beautiful. Well, what it is just they changing up some stuff that's gonna advance both of our voices, but it's gonna take a while. So don't run. You gotta really tap into your discerning spirit to understand that kind of stuff. Same thing with S. Let's say I share energy with S, and she might not even have a voice, but all of a sudden she feel like she can sing and stuff. It's what it is. Take time. You know what I'm saying? Take time. And then all of a sudden she can sing. You know. But sometimes what I'm trying to say, sometimes when you share energy with somebody, it drops off before it actually live. Before it exhale, it actually drops first. So you gotta give yourself time. But see, some of y'all doing stuff back to back, back to back. You got all these men back to back, back to back. So we're gonna figure out how to heal properly. We're finna figure out how to heal properly, and you know, and once we do that, we're gonna take our time with it. I gotta really think about it though, 'cause I don't want to get in the doctor's way. But like I said, if the doctors and the holistic doctors can get together, 'cause y'all, somebody's supposed to create a pill, just like that pill on Dragon Ball, bro. That little sensu bean. Somebody's supposed to create that, something like that, and it works, and it's gonna be good. Like the way they made it is out of all natural stuff, and the way it works on the body is very good. But I don't know. Somebody literally is supposed to make that thing though, and it's supposed to help. Because what happened is it's gonna be a drought on food, and they gonna create a bean until we can get the. They gonna create a bean. Y'all gonna create it. Now I'm giving you an idea since you ain't really doing it. You supposed to be doing this by now though, and I think y'all are. But you finna create, let's just say, a sensu bean. What this sensu bean gonna do is it's gonna keep people from eating. People ain't gonna want to eat that much because it's gonna give them all their nutrients and all that. If people do eat, it's just to taste something, literally. But people gonna take this bean, and it's gonna give them all the nutrients that they need for so long, and that's gonna give the earth time to heal itself. Because you can't keep planting gardens. We can't keep planting gardens, and it's 8 billion people out here. And it's just killing the land. The land can't keep up with that many people like this. So you're gonna create this bean or something like that, and people ain't gonna want this bean to come out because they gonna feel like it's gonna greaten the population. But that's what we trying to fix now. If you let the twins and the flames go to their partners, you won't have to worry about the population anymore because they gonna be good. You gotta we gotta start thinking about this. You looking for these babies. Why do people leave so many different partners and go and have child after child after child? Now you get rid of welfare. Let's put welfare on the side. We ain't talking about none of that. What I'm saying, if we gotta figure out the percentage rate on what welfare done to us, and then you're gonna have to separate welfare when it came in the picture. Okay, because we gotta get away from that. All right, now we get away from welfare. Now, how is the population of people growing? Is it growing exponentially as it been doing since welfare, or have it slowed down? 9 times out of 10 it's gonna be not slowed down, but it might be still growing. Okay, if it's still growing, all right, now what's going on? Okay, we see people leaving these partners that they thought they want to be with, but I keep saying that, I heard somebody say, and get rid of, quote unquote, can't get rid of me, you old immolator, you doppelgangers. I'm the trendsetter. Oh, I'm sorry. I got my feeling a little bit. Lord, please forgive me. I'm following what y'all in heaven. I don't know, be done, man. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us a day our daily bread. Forgive us our debt, we don't suffer. Forgive us our debt. Lead us not into temptation. Deliver us from evil. In your power and kingdom and glory forever. Amen. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, but anyway, I'm the trendsetter. Can't move me out the way. It's way too late for that. It's way too late for that. But anyway, so what we're gonna look at is, okay, now what's going on here? They didn't really want these people. Why they didn't want these people? Because it's a tree trying to go with a tree that don't belong with the tree. So what we need is to get these people on their own tree. How do you get people to their own tree? Letting them go to their twins and their flames and their soulmate. That's how you find your own tree. Peace and love out there.